Hey friends! Thanks for joining me again in my Inspired Artist channel. Today I quickly like to show you how I paint pumpkins, and I hope this inspires you to do this on the Thanksgiving weekend we're having. Okay, I did already a little sketch here with some pencil and pumpkins. I don't have a photo of them or anything, but I just thought I'd do this out of my mind, and I drew these pumpkins here. Three, like we know, creates more interest using uneven numbers in the composition. Then I have the stems showing in different directions. I have a little bit different sizes here of the pumpkins, and I decided that I put them in a corner somewhere in my house, so I indicated the corners there. I use a pencil and I slightly draw on my watercolor paper, and later on I can erase it if I want to. Okay, so this is for later. Then I worked a little bit in advance and I made it a bit bigger here so you can see it. This would be the drawing I do when I start my watercolor. I'm using a yellow or a light orange color watercolor pencil on it, simply because we cannot see the lines later on. They disappear more than the lines drawn with the pencil. Okay, so I got clear water. I got my watercolor wells already sprayed down and woken up my colors, and now I'm gonna just put some border on the paper. This is not the most expensive paper I'm using here, a fairly cheap paper, student art grade paper. Will be fine enough to do the techniques what I'm looking for. I'm starting with Nicolezo yellow here. Nicolezo yellow is a really warm yellow. The colors of fall are usually warm, and see how nicely it disperses here in my wet background on the wet paper. Okay, then I like to just bump up the intensity of my colors. You know, who knows me, I like vibrant colors foremost, so I'm going with my orange in here. I'm mixing my orange on the paper with a bit of raw sienna, and let the colors mingle. I can tilt my paper here. It's fairly wet. As long as it is wet, I can do this. Okay, that is my first pumpkin. I'm adding some salt because I want to have some texture already in this layer. Just a few grains. What else I can do? I use a small brush, and I can do some spatter on it already in the wet. I can do a yellow spatter too and create some texture because the skin of the pumpkin is not even. Okay, I let this pumpkin dry, and I'm moving on to the pumpkin number 2 here. And you see how quickly it goes. Pumpkin number 2, pumpkin number 3. I'm going in with my Nicolezo yellow. There are other warm yellows. It's just important not to use really spring-like cool yellows. So we're going to stick with the warm yellow. And I like personally loose and fluent painting style. I don't like to copy. I want to paint out of my head. I'm not even using a reference photo. I'm just going with the flow here. This is my most favorite way to paint. There are a lot of different artists with different likings and style, and painting more realistic, but I like it fluent and easy. Okay, so same thing, it's kind of wet, and this is painted on dry here, but that's all right. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt there too, and put a bit of a spatter, yellow spatter here. Okay. It makes it more fluent and okay, and I already do some green in my stem. And I'm wondering if I can do them quickly, all three. I'm doing a bit green where the shadow is hitting, and I'm mixing my green with the orange to tone it down, simply because we have warm, more neutral colors, not such a strong green right out of the well or out of the tube. I like my color combinations to work together. And that's why I'm toning it down with a bit of orange. Okay, so this needs to dry. I'm going to check it with my viewfinder, and I see already where I have darker values and where I have medium and lighter values, and that's okay. And here it has moved too much into my light, so I'm taking my paper towel and just remove a little bit of the color here, because here too, this is where the light hits. Okay, so I dabbed some out, this, and I'm getting already interesting pumpkins. Hope you like this. This is my first layer, and because it takes so much time to dry, I show you this painting, and I basically did the layer, just the medium layer. See, this is the dark value, and we have here that we can't see anything much, so it tells us it's in a very light medium layer. And on this one I put my second layer on with paint, and I'm using the same Nicoleso yellow again, and as we can see where the yellow touches the first layer of paint here, it goes way more intense. It's the same colors, goes way more intense on us here. We're getting vibrant colors with the same color in the background, and I mean background of the pumpkin here. I'm adding a bit more color basically to it. And go with the flow. Okay, here too. There's my nickel laser yellow on this pumpkin here, and here too, just a little bit on the bottom where it is the darkest. And here you can see that the colors won't stick to the top of the pumpkin, and that effect is created with candle. So I put the candle wax down there, and the color does not want to stick. See a bit too much there, but I can go back and lift it if I think I have too much value. For me, important in this second layer is that I intensify the shape, and I just want to even go a bit darker down here, and I do this by using my green and nickel laser yellow and orange, a warm orange. And as I said, it's not a realistic painting where I really want to copy a realistic pumpkin. I just want to be my own creative boss and paint a pumpkin that I like, that is artistic. I'm going fairly quick with my green here. Bring this pumpkin forward. By adding more value. This is my second layer. On my second layer, I'm cranking up the tonal value and I'm cranking up my details a bit more. And I'm going fairly fast. Use a round brush. And a towel to make more texture. A little bit of salt here and there. And a bit of water. Spatter to. Okay, so it should dry, but we need to get moving on to the background. Okay, I like the opposites, rule of opposites. The rule of opposites for orange and worms is a cool blue. I want it popping. I want to intensify my pumpkins. want to draw attention to my pumpkins, and that's why I'm just adding the blue here to the foreground. Turn this around quickly. I'm using a fairly big brush because I don't want to have too small brush marks. I want to go quick and fairly wet. And we'll see if I like this. I guess I don't. So then I'm gonna do some blue here too. And that is French ultramarine. And as I said, it's not representative, it's my interpretation of the pumpkins. And I'd like to encourage you too to paint the pumpkins a few times, see what you come up with the colors you have. And okay, so this needs to dry, and then I will come back and do with a very thin brush. That's my rigger brush. I like to do some calligraphy on it simply because I really enjoy it. Then I bounce the darkness of my blues up a bit there where the shadow is to make my orange even stand out more. We know that the colors dry 30% lighter than they appear when we're adding them on a wet surface. So okay, this is my first layer of the background, and I probably have to adjust the tonal value of that later on even a bit more. I like strong tonal values. It gives the painting more expression. It really lets the pumpkins bounce out and stand forward. And see, this is going from this is my first layer, to this already, and you see how much of a difference in expression these two paintings already have. So this needs to dry, and then I'm adding the final touches, and I will post a photo from this. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and see you soon back in my painting group. Take care and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Bye.